All right, everybody, welcome to the training. It's time to get this training started. I promoted this training about a week ago, and we got a really good response. I'm happy that all of you guys are on here. And I just want to give you guys a little bit of background on myself so we're not complete strangers. Again, anybody that's able to turn on your camera, please go ahead and turn on your camera. That'll be great. If you're just waking up, right, and you can't, and you need a little while, that's fine. Okay, but I see some of you guys are out on the road making it happen. Jose, how you doing? I'm glad you were able to make it on, even though you are driving. I appreciate that. Make sure you drive safe. Vanessa's on here. Doug is on here. Anthony. I can't tell her. Even my wife is on here, right? She hears me train all the time and stuff. And it's real funny because somebody asked her a long time ago after her training. They asked, "How does it feel living with JC? Because you guys are married." This actually was before we were married, and she says, "Feels normal. He's just a normal guy." I didn't realize on my camera was on. Sorry about that, guys. There you go. She says it's normal, right? He's just a regular man, right? Like everybody else and stuff, right? So I said, "Babe, that's where you should have edified me. You should have said some, oh, it's awesome, right?" Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to share some valuable content with you guys. For those of you guys that may not know me, my name is JC Rangel. For those of you guys that do know me, my name is still JC Rangel, and today's training is called Driven, Not Given, right? I believe that the majority of the people in the world that accomplish great things, whether it's athletes, whether it's in business, or whatever the case may be, is because they were very driven. As a matter of fact, the majority of millionaires, okay, in the world were people that are millionaires that were self-made, meaning they didn't inherit the money. It was something that that happened because of their sheer determination, of their drive, and because basically they made a decision, right, to make it happen. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. A little bit about myself, ladies and gentlemen. I am a man of God. To me, God is my priority. To my family and I, we serve our Father, okay? And that's the number one priority, right? So to me, it's God, family, and business, right? In that order. So I am a man of God. I'm a man of faith. I'm a family man. As you guys can see here, my beautiful wife. If you're wondering if I'm a good salesperson or not, my wife has proved that I am a good person. I convinced this beautiful woman to spend the rest of her life with me. And then our beautiful son, he gets his good looks from his mother, right? The great Maximus. I'm a bulletproof mindset coach. Been in the network marketing profession. I've made millions of dollars in the industry of network marketing, and I've been very, very blessed. And my business now is I'm a solar specialist. I have a solar dealer, and that's a business that I'm in. And part of the reason why I do this, and you're going to get a tremendous amount of value for the next 60 to 90 minutes. I'm going to give a tremendous amount of value. I'm not selling you anything. I simply want to do this because I like to give value, number one. Number two, is obviously it helps as exposure. I get exposure to a lot of powerful, strong entrepreneurs, and I value that very much, okay? I also won a world title when I was 18 in karate. So when it comes to developing a bulletproof mindset, when it comes to being driven, when it comes to knowing how to win, is something that I strive myself as an immigrant from Mexico, coming to this country at the age of 6, being raised by a single mom who raised 3 children, 3 boys. When I was 18 years old, I didn't have a social security number. I didn't have a driver's license. I couldn't get a regular job. I couldn't get student loans. And it was a lot harder, right? I didn't grow up with privilege at all. We grew up with very, very little, but we had a lot of love. And my mom put a great example for us. And so, now we're here. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, I like to start off with a couple of stories. This story here is of an elderly Cherokee brave that told his grandson about a battle between 2 wolves that goes on in everybody's mind, okay? So in everybody's mind, this is a battle that's happening, he says, right? There's 2 wolves in your mind. One of them is a good wolf. The other one is a bad wolf. Now, the good wolf is filled with tenacity, with kindness, perseverance, humility, understanding, and motivation, okay? The bad wolf, on the other hand, is filled with jealousy, laziness, hate, resentment, spite, ego, all these negative things, right? That's what the bad wolf is filled with, right? So the boy asked the grandfather. He said, "Grandfather, which one of these will win? The grandfather replied, whichever one you feed. This story, when I heard it for the first time, made a lot of sense, because here's one thing that I know. For your notes, and I highly encourage you to take notes. If you're driving, you can't take notes, it's perfectly fine. Here's the deal. There is a mental battle in everybody's mind on a daily basis. And for your notes, they say that there's been studies that have been done that somewhere around 95% of our self-talk is negative. Think about it. 95% of most people's self-talk is negative, okay? That means that they're constantly telling themselves things like, or thinking to themselves things like, I'm not good enough, or I'm too young, or I'm too old, or I'm too Hispanic, I'm too black, I'm too white, I'm too Asian. Whatever the case is, it's bullshit. And the reason why is because one of the things that is absolutely for certain is that there are people in this world, in this country, whatever country you're in, there are people in this country with your background, right? There are people in this country with your experience, with your nationality that are out there making it happen. So it's got nothing to do with that. Now, do some people maybe have some easier breaks from time to time? Absolutely. But here's one of the things that I know without a shadow of a doubt. One of the things that I know without a shadow of a doubt is the fact that, excuse me, is the fact that when people have it easier, right, they develop less strength. I remember growing up with some kids that had it very, very easy. And because they had it so easy, as we grew up to adults, guess what? Life was hard. See, I believe, so for example, I don't train my son. I have a 6-year-old son. My wife and I have a 6-year-old son. We do not train him on how to be mediocre. We do not baby him. We do not spoil him. We teach him that life is tough, because one of the biggest mistakes, in my opinion, about parenting that people make is that they make it too easy for their kids. They spoil them too much. Well, guess what? Once they turn 18, they go into the real world. It hits them. There's no participation trophies in the real world. In the real world, you're going to lose. You're not going to just win because you want to win or because you throw a fit. You got to learn how to win, right? And when we talk about this battle in our mind, there's a battle. 95% of people's self-talk is negative. Here's the deal. Most people out there, most people watching this video right now, those of you watching it live, those of you watching the recording, you may think, well, what do you mean 95% of my self-talk is negative? Most people's, the majority of their self-talk is negative. And if your friends talk to you the way that you talk to yourself at times, you would not be friends anymore. If your friend would talk to you the way that you talk to yourself, you would not be friends anymore. Okay? That's the bottom line. Okay? So let's go ahead and keep moving forward. Here's another story before we get into the training. There's two twins. Two twins had an abusive father. He was alcoholic, no good father. Abusive, alcoholic, just a bad example of a father. Okay? One kid turned out to be exactly like his father. The other kid became the exact opposite of his father. So many years later, and by the way, go ahead and mute yourselves, guys. If you guys are on here, let me see. Mute all. Okay, perfect. So here's the situation, guys. Okay, many years later, these two twin boys were interviewed. One of the twin boys turned out to be like his father. He was an alcoholic. He was a womanizer. He was abusive, into drugs, all kinds of stuff. Lazy, not driven at all. The other kid was the exact opposite. He was driven. He was a good man. And all these good virtues, the opposite of his father. When they interviewed him, they asked him the same question. Why did you end up the way that you ended up? And both kids had a different answer. Had the same answer. They both said, that's how my father was. But the second part of the answer was different. One of them said, that's how my father was. So what did you expect from me? I turned out to be like my father. The other kid, they asked him, now they're men. He says, that's how my father was. Abusive, alcoholic, blah, 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 blah. I didn't want to be like my father. What does that boil down to? Here's what it boils down to. It boils down to reasons versus excuses. Reasons, one of them used it as a reason to be different, to succeed, to be better. The other one used it as an excuse to be mediocre, to be like his father. It was just an excuse. It was a cop-out. Here's the deal. I'll give you an example. I once met with a young lady. We showed her about, to start working with us and to build a business with us. She says to me, I'm a single mother with 3 kids, and I recently lost my job. It's going to be tough for me. And I asked her, can I be honest with you? Can I give you my honest opinion? She says, yes. I said, it sounds to me like everything that you said are great reasons for you to do something different. But you seem to be using it as an excuse. And she gets taken back and her eyes get watery. And she says, wow, I never looked at it that way. And the reason why she never looked at it that way is because think about it. For 14,000 hours from kindergarten to the 12th grade, 14,000 hours, we have been programmed to be mediocre and average. I'm not going to get into the details of this, but one thing I will tell you is this. In the early 1900s, the school system got bought by some very wealthy people. And they build the school system by design the way it is, to create employees, not to dream or not to think big, a memorization system to create more employees for them. But see, the early textbooks in the 1900s used to teach people here in the United States how to be entrepreneurs. Back in the early 1900s, everybody had their own business. So the point is, why do most people have this mediocre mindset and thinking? Because write this number down. 14,000 hours. For 14,000 hours, people have been programmed to be mediocre and average. And that's why most people are programmed to be fault finders. There'll be fault finders in somebody else. There'll be fault finders in something that they see here. Thank you, Maurice, for that on the chat. $14,000, that's right. They'll be fault finders for themselves. See, here's the deal. Most people will love a great opportunity. They will love to go to another level. Most people would. But see, when opportunity knocks on the front door, most people are in the backyard looking for a 4-leaf clover. Opportunity may be knocking in the front door, but most people are in the backyard looking for a 4-leaf clover. What? Trying to get lucky. Trying to get lucky. Okay? So reasons versus excuses. So the question is, are we doing reasons? Are we using our setbacks and as setups for major comebacks? Or are we using them as an excuses to just, hey man, I'm gonna just be mediocre? See, whenever times get tough, the tough get going. You ever heard that? When the times get tough, here's my philosophy, and we're gonna talk about philosophies here. That's the hack to the attitude. When times get tough, the tough, meaning us, get going. When times get tough, the tough get going. So the tough, the bulletproof mindset winners and champions say, hey, listen, because this is happening, because COVID-19 is happening, we're in the middle of the pandemic, we're in the middle of this pandemic. Because of these things, this is a great reason for me to start my own business, or this is a great business for me to go into a new career, or there's a great time for me to work on myself, for me to get in better shape, for me to get on my health, right? Some other people use it as an excuse, hey man, can't go to work, man. So, hey, man, screw it. The world's going to crap, blah, blah, blah. Excuses versus reasons, right? And most people are stuck there. Why? Because they don't have the personal growth. And that's what we're doing this year. So here's a bulletproof mindset difference. Number one, to achieve bigger things, number one, we've got to decide exactly what we want to achieve. In the book, Think and Grow Rich, it talks about a definite purpose. Decide, identify, write down exactly what you want to achieve in 3 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. Decide exactly what you want. Notice that the word decide rhymes with suicide and homicide. What do those words have in common? Somebody or something dies, right? Decide, okay, simply means the death of all other options to me. Make a decision as to what you're going to do. Here's the deal. The first person you've got to sell is you. You got to sell you that you are good enough. You've got to sell you that success is your duty, especially if you got little ones that are dependent on you. Because guess what? Those little ones, they didn't ask to come into this world. Maybe it's a parent that you're doing it for. Maybe it's a spouse that you're doing it for, or your kids. Your kids didn't decide to come here. You brought them here. So guess what? You got to close yourself. Not only that you're going to make it happen, but you got to close yourself that guess what? You are good enough, and you got to make a decision to achieve more. If you can't close yourself, you can't close a damn window. You understand? So you got to close yourself. So decide exactly what it is you want to achieve. The next one is identify the price that must be paid to achieve those things. So now that you've decided what you want, identify what do I got to give up in order to achieve these things. Maybe it's poker night with my friends. Maybe it's going to the casino. Maybe it's, a certain hobby. Maybe it's TV time. Stop Netflix and chilling so much, man. Let me ask you guys a question. What's your favorite Lamborghini commercial? I'll wait. You tell me what your favorite Lamborghini commercial is. Enough time. You don't have one. You know why? Because Lamborghini does not make commercials. Because the owners of Lamborghini understand that the people that buy them aren't at home watching TV. They're not on that TV box getting entertained, living a box life. Right? What do I mean by a box life? They wake up with a box bed, they eat out of their box cereal, they get into their box car, they drive to their box building to work out of their box office, to eat out of a lunch box, get back in their box, get home to a box television to watch the news, which, by the way, the news is the only place where they'll start with good evening, then they proceed to tell you why it's not so good, right? CNN stands for constant negative news. See, here's one of the things that the elite know. The elite know that our mind is the most fertile ground anywhere. Your mind is the most fertile ground in the world. Now, if you feed it positive things, it'll give you an abundance of positive things. But if you feed it just like a fertile ground, if you put some beautiful roses in a fertile ground, it's going to give beautiful roses. But if you put poison ivy in that fertile ground, it's going to give poison ivy. Your mind, our mind, is more fertile than that ground. Here's the thing. What are most people feeding their mind? A bunch of BS. Social media entertainment videos. A bunch of negative news with fake, narratives, right? Scaring people, especially right now more than ever before. So guess what? That enters your subconscious mind. Now, here's the deal. Your subconscious mind is significantly, some people would argue, infinitely more powerful than your conscious mind. So you got your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is infinitely more powerful than your conscious mind. Okay? So it's a lot more powerful than your conscious mind. Therefore, what you feed it, you will produce and manifest into your life. If you keep feeding it fear, if your self-talk, remember, 95% of people's self-talk is negative. If your self-talk is negative, guess what kind of life you're going to produce? A negative life, a negative circumstance. That's what's going to happen. Okay? So keep this in mind. Decide exactly what you want to achieve. Identify the price that you are willing to pay, and then get busy paying that damn price. Make a decision. And I'm going to talk about how to help you with that decision and with the getting busy part. We're going to talk about those things. So how do we get to the next level again? You're going to be shocked, but don't log off. You're going to be shocked, but don't log off. I know how many people are on here, and I took a screenshot of who's on here. This lets me know who the people that really want it are. All right? So here's how we go. Okay? How do we go to that next level? 3 words. Lie, cheat, and steal. Write that down. I'm not joking. I'm not telling you to hurt anybody. What do I mean by lie, cheat, and steal? okay? Here's what that means. What you want to do is, the first one, lie. You want to lie awake at night, thinking of your goals. You want to get obsessed with the things that you want. Now, here's the deal. A little disclaimer. I'm more obsessed with my relationship with God and taking care of my family, but I know that my business will help me take care of my family as well. So I know how many hours I dedicate to the day. There's a Chinese proverb that said, "He who rolls up his sleeves shall never lose his shirt." In the good book, it talks about the sleep of a laboring man is sweet. Think about this. We are the happiest when we are creating. You ever go buy some furniture at IKEA or something that you have to put together? And then once you start putting it together, you start realizing, oh my God, you feel this sense of accomplishment. Okay? You feel the sense of accomplishment. Just a couple of weeks ago, about 2 months ago, we bought this like little store from our son. It's a little store. It's really cute. He's got vegetables and he's got a little credit card taker and whatnot. And I remember putting it together. My nieces were here. My brother's daughters were here. And the kids wanted to play. And I'm like, I'm going to put this together for the kids. It took me nearly 2 hours to put it together. When I took it up, when I took it out, I was like, man, this is going to take a long time. I wasn't looking forward to it. As I'm building it, I realized I'm feeling this sense of accomplishment. You see it coming together. You see it coming together. You see it coming together. Then eventually, the feeling afterwards, when it's all put together, you see it from like nothing, then you see it develop. Now it starts taking shape. And then it was such a feeling of accomplishment, especially because our kids were able to play. The same thing with your business and the same thing with you and your mind. When you write down exactly what you want, make it a burning obsession like the book Think and Grow Rich talks about. Visualize it, because everything is created 2 times. Everything is created first in the mind, then in the physical. So as you start building your business, building yourself, building your company, right? As you start building your business, guess what? You start to feel the sense of accomplishment. As you start to check off the to-do things on your list for the day, your to-do things on your list for the month, you achieving ranks, hitting goals, now you start to see that sense of accomplishment. If you're a realtor and you're just getting started as a realtor, you know that one day you'll have your first listing, one day you'll have your first buyer, one day you'll close your first escrow. If you're an insurance agent, you know that one day you're going to get that license, that one day you're going to write your first policy, that one day all of us are going to receive the first commission check, which will be the first of many. When you got these things written down on your whiteboards, on your notepads, I got notepads everywhere, and they got a lot of valuable content. I start checking them off. Then I start to realize, oh my God, if you're in a team building business, you realize, hey, it's just me. But one day I'm going to have hundreds of people, maybe thousands of people. Then you start to see it come together. Oh my God, I got 10 people on my team. I've already got paid. My goal is to have 100 people on my team and get 10 of them paid, 20 of them paid. And as time goes on, you start to see it develop. And that's one of the main things that keeps people motivated. But most people don't have goals. Most people don't have a vision. Most people don't have a burning desire. So they don't see anything develop and develop and develop. So guess what? They don't have that motivation, that constant motivation, right? So number one, out of lie, cheat, and steals, you want to lie awake at night thinking of your dreams, being obsessed with them. You got to love your dreams so much, be so committed to them that it makes you lose sleep. You see, winners dream. We dream when we are awake. Everybody else only dreams when they're asleep. I dream when I'm awake. Man, I'm constantly thinking of my vision. I make that phone call because I got the vision. You know who the guy, I tell my team, you know who the guy working harder than you is? Me. I'm working harder than you. I'm 37 years old, man. I got more energy than when I was 27 or 17, man. I got more energy than when I won a world title. I know what it's like to get your nose broken, to get your heart broken, to go to a tournament training all damn year, to go to a tournament and beat the guy that won the tournament. But guess what? I broke my ankle, so he advanced and I did. He won the world title. Guess what? In life, there's heartbreak. Here's the difference between champions and non-champions. champions have less starts and stops. Champions have less starts and stops. That's the bottom line. Most people, here's what will happen. Most people will have starts and stops. They have a lot of starts and stops, okay? Champions have significantly less starts and stops. I'm writing this, Bulletproof Mindset. I'm gonna go live for a little bit here. Give me 1 second, guys. So here's the deal. Champions have significantly less starts and stops. Start and stops. The average person, they find any excuse to stop. Any little excuse, they want to stop. Ask yourself this question. Here's a key for your notes. Ask yourself this question. What would the champion version of me do in this situation? And what would the average me do in this situation? Am I doing average, mediocre, JC stuff? You insert your name there. Or am I doing what the champion me would do, what the champion JC would do in this situation? So 3 keys: lie, cheat, and steal. Lie awake at night thinking of your goals because you made it a burning desire. Number 2, cheat. You got to cheat some time away from the non-productive activities. Cheat some time away from the people that don't serve you. For your notes, write this down. For your notes, here's the deal. If you cannot change the people around you, meaning change how they think, change how negative they are. If you cannot change the people around you, you've got to change the people around you, meaning replace. If you cannot change the people around you, replace them. They don't serve you no good. Who gives a damn about their opinions of you? Are their opinions going to feed your kids? No. Are their opinions going to put food on the table? Are their opinions going to pay your mortgage, pay your car, pay your insurance? No, they're not. Who cares about their opinions? Warrior up. A champion warriors up. A mediocre man or woman gives up. They care about other people's opinions. That's the difference between give up and warrior up. Roll up your sleeves. It's not going to be easy. Pick yourself up from the bootstraps. It's not going to be easy. So cheat some time away from the non-productive activities. Cheat some time away from that junk food. Cheat some time away from that fast food. Cheat some time away from negative dream stealers. You're going to get some dream stealers. Here's the deal. If you want to do something great, you're going to lose a lot of friends. You're going to have dream stealers. A lot of these dream stealers are cleverly disguised as friends and family members. A lot of these dream stealers are cleverly disguised as friends and family members. I want you to know that. You want to have a lot of friends? Do nothing, be nothing, say nothing. You don't want to have conflict in your life and you want to have a lot of friends? Do nothing, be nothing, say nothing. But if you want to lose some friends, I'm telling you right now, elevate, level up to another level. You know why? Because misery loves company. For those of you guys on Facebook, if you want to see the PowerPoint, we're on Zoom. The code is 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. You want to lose some friends? Level up. Misery loves company because, see, most people are like a crab in a bucket. If you ever see crabs in a bucket, one crab they all want to get out. None of them want to be in that bucket. They all want to get out. But guess what? They're crabs in a bucket. So as one of them tries to get out, the other ones pull it down. Like this crab number 2 pulls crab number 1 out. Then crab number 2 wants to get out. And it wonders why the other crabs are pulling it back down. The average person is programmed to be a damn crab in a bucket. You're not going to, here again, if you can't change the people around you, you've got to change, meaning replace the people around you. Change them. Champions know, hey man, I'm here to win. I'm not here to make everybody happy. I'm not here for a popularity contest. I'm here to get ish done. And if you don't like me because we don't have anything in common anymore, because you talk about the weekend and I talk about goals, because you talk about getting drunk and living an average, mediocre life, and I talk about business because you talk about a stimulus check, and I am the stimulus check. I am the stimulus check. And if you don't like me because of that, then unfriend me. But I'm going to the top. And like fucking hell, am I going to let anybody stop me from providing for my family the way I want to provide? You don't believe in me? Let me give you guys a story. Early 2018, I was a millionaire, worth over $1.3 million liquid. A cash flow of $20,000. In a little bit over a year, I lost it all. I went from a millionaire to losing it all. My wife never worked while we were together. She had to start working again. That's a story for another day I'll mention on my podcast coming up that I'm building, okay? I had to start from nothing. Let me tell you something. People must have forgot that making money is like riding a bike. If you know how to ride a bike, you know how to ride a bike. How to start from nothing. I got a couple of friends, some of them are on here, that had to let me borrow some money. I had some terrible bad luck and some bad decisions that I made. I don't mind saying it. You know why? I said, ask me if one day I got depressed. Ask me if I got depressed for a day. The answer is never. I never got depressed. Because guess what? I lost money. I didn't lose a hand. I didn't lose a family member. Money you could always make back. If I lose a hand, I can never grow that back. If I lose a family member, I'll only get them back in Jesus' world, as my son calls it, in heaven. That's the only time I'll see them back. But money is just paper. I could always make that back. I got the skills. I got the grind. I'm willing to do it. I'm going to go out there and make it back. By the way, if you guys are liking this content, take a screenshot of this. Tag me on social media, JC Rangel Mindset, at JC Rangel Mindset, okay, on your stories and stuff like that. If you guys are getting value from this, tag me on it, on videos or on a picture, okay, guys? That's the only thing I ask for. I'm not selling anything. This is for free, okay? But the point that I'm getting to about this story, I didn't plan on sharing that story. But guess what? I said, you know what? We lost everything, right? What do we do now? Man, this is going to be a hell of a story. This is going to be on my book. I've heard the stories of people being millionaires, going down to nothing, making it all over again. Oh, we're on our way. In 18 months, 100%, 18 months, minimum $1 million in commissions. 100%. It's already done. It's already done. It's a wrap. I got some friends that I'm calling. They know when I was up, some of my friends used to support me. They were down with me. All of a sudden, they don't support me the same way. They don't look at me the same. That's when I said, y'all must have forgot. That's interesting. When I come back up, you guys will respect me again. I got some friends that do pretty well financially. Even then I thought they're going to support me. They know my situation. I only told a couple of people. To my surprise, they treat me different. It's like, bro, you don't understand. I just had a little bit of bad luck, but I'm coming up mighty fast. Very, very fast. So guess what? That doesn't depress me. That motivates me because I'm a champion. So lie, cheat, and steal. What do you steal? What is that we're stealing? We're stealing every good idea that we get. We're stealing every good training that we get. We're stealing every good habit that we get. That's what we're stealing. So you want to lie awake at night thinking of your goals because you made it a burning obsession. You want to cheat some time away from negative company, from negative non-productive activities, from junk food, from whatever bad habits. Cheat some time away. Guess what? You may also have to cheat a little bit of time away from your family. You may have to have a conversation with your significant other. I appreciate that, Lisa, and I appreciate that, Urban. You may have to have a talk with your significant other, with your honey, and say, honey, for the next 90 days, for the next year, I'm going to go hard. We got to make it happen. Because guess what? I believe that in 90 days, in any business, in a 90-day run, what I call a 90-day blitz of all-out massive action. 5 M's. More meetings mean more money. 5 P's. Poor production prevents proper production. I'm drawing a blank. What is it again, guys? Proper production prevents poor productivity. There you go. Proper production prevents poor productivity. So guess what? 5 M's. More meetings mean more money. So you have to have a conversation with your significant other and say, hey, listen, here's the deal. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to leave early. I'm going to come late. I'm not even going to have a voice when I come back. I'm going to go out there and pay the price because we're going to build momentum. And momentum is the hardest thing to gain in business, but it's the easiest thing to lose. Write that down. Momentum is the hardest thing to gain and the easiest thing to lose. You want to make sure you write that down. So steal every good idea, okay? Let's keep going. Let's talk a little bit about the teachability index. The teachability index is your willingness to learn multiplied by your willingness to change, meaning adapt the necessary things that you're learning. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how willing to learn are you? On a scale of 1 to 10, how willing to learn are you? Okay? On a scale of 1 to, so meaning, are you taking notes? Do you review those notes or are you distracted? Are you multitasking while you're getting this information? Or do you dedicate the time to learn this stuff? Not only here, just wherever you go, whatever education you're doing. Now, your willingness to change, meaning on a scale of 1 to 10, how willing you are to review those notes and apply those notes and apply the things that you learn. That's a question. So your willingness to learn, proper preparation prevents poor productivity or poor performance, right? Appreciate that, brother. Darius, appreciate that, bro. For some reason, I was drawing a blank. I'm like, I've said that a million times, right? So, but the willingness to learn versus the willingness to change. You're going to learn some stuff. Are you going to adapt to changes, or is it going to go into one ear and out the other? Because most people, here's the deal. Being successful isn't that hard. I could have finished off this training in less than a minute. I could have said this to y'all. I could have said, hey, guys, guess what? Yeah, listen, guys, I'm going for another 45 minutes to an hour on this. So get your popcorn, get your notepad, take notes. Warrior up. Don't give up. Here's the deal. I could have finished this training in less than a minute. I could have said, hey, listen, if you want to win, see what the masses are doing and do the opposite. You're in real estate, you're in insurance, you're in network marketing, you're in solar, ADT sales, home security sales, whatever you're into, any entrepreneur venture, anything. If you want to win, see what the majority of the people in your company and your industry are doing. The majority, 80%ers, 90%ers. Do the opposite. Because guess what? Let's take a realtor, for example. A realtor will walk, I used to be a realtor many years ago, over 12 years ago. A realtor will walk into an office late. The average realtor, not all, the average, will walk into an office late from time to time. They won't prospect every day. No. They'll prospect when it's convenient because they are interested in success. They're not committed to success. See, you got to go from being interested to being committed. It's my duty. I don't have a choice. It's a right. This is what I must do. If I got to make 50 phone calls today and 4 appointments and 50 phone calls, I'm going to get that done before I go home. If I'm tired at 25 phone calls and 2 appointments or 50 doors, 100 doors, if that's what I'm tired, but my goal is 150, guess what? I'm not going home. Because here's how you develop self-confidence. One of the ways that you develop self-confidence is, guess what? One of the ways that you develop self-confidence is by keeping promises to yourself. You know that you are the guy or girl that says, I'm the guy or girl that gets things done. Y'all must be the other guy. Because I get stuff done. I said I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it. I said I'm going to work out these many days and I do it. I said I'm going to drink this much water and I'm going to do it. So I'm going to do this much work, this many calls, this many door knocks, this many appointments, and I get it done. But most people's self-confidence not because they know that they know I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. They know there's a 70% chance they're not going to go to the gym. They say, you know what, JC, watch my dust. This time my kids are at school, man. You know, I'm ready to go. Just do it. As A.O. Williams says. You don't understand, man. You know what I mean? I already got my final check. I'm going to go. Sounds good. Just go and do it. Sounds good. Just go and do it. So your willingness to learn versus your willingness to change. So multiply those 2 numbers. On a scale of 1 to 10, how willing to learn? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how willing to change are you? Multiply those 2 numbers together. You can't lie to yourself. You're not going to show me. You're going to show yourself. So be honest with yourself. You want to be at a 90 and eventually at 100. If you're not at a 90 when you multiply those two numbers, you got work to do. The good thing is, it's a decision away. See, people think that change requires time. No, change requires a decision. Boom, you decide. I'm done. Somebody gets out of an abusive relationship. Oh my gosh, she was in an abusive relationship for 5 years. It took her 5 years to, no, it didn't take her 5 years. She got to a moment, he or she got to a moment where they said, I've had enough. Some people have got to the moment today where they said, I've had enough of being mediocre. I've had enough of being average. I'm going to decide. It's very important that you understand this philosophy. The philosophy is what? Here's a philosophy, okay? The philosophy is not that change takes a long time. People think change takes a long time because that's what they hear. And guess what? They eat it up. They buy it. So guess what? Because they buy it, that's the excuse. Unknowingly, that's the excuse as to why they're not in a better place. Because they believe that change takes time. That's what they believe. It's kind of like you take an elephant, a baby elephant, and you put like a twig, and you wrap a rope around the twig, and you wrap it around the baby elephant's leg. Then all of a sudden, he can't move when he's a baby. But then, and he just walks around a little bit, a couple of feet, little bit. Eventually, this elephant grows to be a big, gigantic elephant that can knock a building down. And he still doesn't get rid of that twig, that rope on the twig. Why? Because he believes that he isn't strong enough to go through that twig. And that's how most people are going through their life. They believe the programming. Think about where you got your programming from. We got our programming from our parents, from our teachers, from our family. Okay, great. So ask yourself this question. Your parents, your teachers, and your family, your neighbors, and all those people that you grew up around with, do they live the life that you want to live? Are they as happy as you would like to be? Are they as fulfilled? Are they in the health that you would like to be? No. How come we don't use common sense to know, hey, listen, maybe they had some philosophies wrong. They had some philosophies wrong. See, most people this life is programmed to tame you. To tame you. So since you've been tamed, you've got to be trained. Does that make sense? And training and personal development training is not something you did. It should be something you do. Like brushing your teeth. Like taking a shower. Working out shouldn't be something you did. It should be something you do. So personal development, think about this. What if you commit to 10 pages of a good book a day, which is one of the tips I'm going to give you on growing and elevating yourself. 10 pages of a good book a day or 30 minutes of a good audio. I have the Audible app. I got like 25 books on my Audible app. And I go through those books. I haven't bought a new book in a long time because I still don't master these. I bought too many to begin with. But 30 minutes of a good audio or 10 pages of a good book a day, those minor differences separate the winners from the losers. See, the average person wants to get entertained. The average winner wants to get educated, wants to grow. So what if you read 10 pages of a good book a day, like The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles, Think and Grow Rich, 25 Laws of Doing the Impossible by Patrick Bet-David. So many great books out there, okay? What if you read 10 pages of a, that means that the average book has 300 pages. The average book, what's up, Andres? The average book has 300 pages. That means that in a month, you'll read a book a month, 12 books a year. Let me tell you something. Let me ask you this question. How would you like to improve by 12% per year? Just 12 to 15% per year, you get better, more confident, more communication skills, sales skills, leadership skills, problem-solving skills. Would that help you in your business? For those of you guys with the camera, and by the way, if you don't have your camera on and you could get the camera on, get the camera on. My wife, you guys see my wife here on Zoom? She's driving. She posted her video, right? She's driving to an appointment. That's a champion right there. She's not going to an appointment. You know what she's going to go do? She's going to go close a deal. Don't just go to an appointment. Go to get the contract. Write this down. GTC. Get the commitment. Get the contract. Get the check. Get the credit card. GTC. Go out there and make it happen. So if you're able to turn on your camera, turn on your camera. If you can't turn it on, that's fine. Some of you guys are at work and you let me know. That's cool. You're at work, no problem. I don't want you to get in trouble.
To be honest,
You understand? By the way, if you are unmuted, please go ahead and mute yourself. Let me see, mute all. Okay. So let's keep going. This here is something that we like to call, let's see here. Okay, good. This is the 4 levels of consciousness. Okay. The 4 levels of consciousness, some of you guys have heard me train about this, right? The 4 levels of consciousness. Here's the way they go. You go from unconscious incompetence, meaning you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. The next level is conscious competence. Conscious incompetence. That's where you realize what you don't know. For example, I found out early on the importance of communication skills. I had no idea how important communication skills were. Then I was conscious about my incompetence. I was conscious that I didn't have good communication skills, but I knew that it was important. So I started working on my communication skills. Then you get to the point where you get to conscious competence, where you got good presentation skills, sales skills, leadership, problem solving, whatever the case may be, but you got to consciously think about it. It isn't on autopilot. And then the next level is unconscious competence. The next level is the awesome level of unconscious competence. That's where you're doing the thing and you don't got to think about it. A problem shows up, that's a problem for everybody else, and guess what it is for you? For you, it's only a situation. Write this down when it comes to problems. This is how to warrior up. Here's how to warrior up. If money or people can solve it, it's not a problem. It's a situation. You see, but if in your mind you're programmed to drown in a cup of water, because most people, by the way, they're programmed to drown in a cup of water. Okay? That's how most people are. They see a situation, they call it a problem. So it goes into your subconscious mind. See, most people had never heard about the conscious mind or the subconscious mind, or they heard about it, but they didn't understand it. They didn't realize that the subconscious mind is infinitely more powerful than your conscious mind. See, a baby, in their first 18 months to 2 years, they're all subconscious. So you want to speak greatness into your kids. Greatness. It just goes into the mind, goes into the mind, goes into the mind, goes into the mind. But see, a kid by the age of 5 has heard the word no 40,000 times. And they've heard the word yes 5,000 times by the age of 5. Don't touch that, don't go there, which is good advice. You're teaching the kid certain things. That's just how life is. So most people, from very early on, they're programmed to fear things. Because when somebody's born, they're only afraid of loud noises, and I forget what the other thing is. Fear is something that's developed, just like racism. Racism is something that's developed. Nobody's born racist, just like nobody's born scared of stuff, right? So the same thing. So most people, they're going through this and they realize, oh my God, I got to get to unconscious competence. Think about when you drive home today, if you're at work. You're going to get home, and you've been through that trip many times. You get home with unconscious competence. You don't even know how you got home. You didn't think about how to get home. You just got home. Just like driving your car. You drive your car now. Some ladies, unfortunately, we see some ladies putting on their makeup. They're on the phone. They're multitasking. They're thinking about work, or they're thinking about dinner. They're multitasking, right? They're at unconscious competence level when it comes to driving. Did you know that you could get to the unconscious competence level when it comes to your skills, when it comes to your mindset? But guess what? You don't get there. You don't get good at anything by not doing it. The way that we get there is by being a champion. The way that we get there is by understanding and having a philosophy that personal development is something you constantly do, not something you did once. Does that make sense? Just like overcoming problems. In my business, I close people on what I sell, and I close people on my opportunity to work with me. So no matter what they give me, I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I got to talk to my spouse. Whatever they are, I know how to answer. I know how to give the rebuttal. Boom, 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 boom. I don't have to think about it because I'm at the unconscious competence level there. But I used to be at conscious competence where I knew how to say it, but I had to think about it. I had to search in my mind. But you could get there. So imagine if you get to unconscious competence with problem solving, communication, sales skills, whatever skills you need to acquire. But there's a hack on how to have the discipline to develop those things, and we're going to talk about that right now. So here's one of the keys to it. There's 4 groups of people: 27 percenters, 60 percenters, 10 percenters, and 3 percenters. Okay? The 27 percenters out there are not motivated. Matter of fact, they're pretty negative towards change. And think about it. Most people are programmed to look at change as a negative thing. Most people are programmed to look at change as a negative thing. They're programmed to look at change like the change of address, the change of an email address, the change. Most people are programmed to look at change as a negative thing, but just in general, 27% of people, they're not motivated to accomplish anything in life. And that's okay. It's their life, right? 60 percenters are motivatable. They can be motivated. 60% of the population are motivatable. Okay? 10% are motivated, self-motivated. 10 percenters are self-motivated. How many people, by a show of hands, those of you guys with your video on, want to be self-motivated? Raise your hand if you want to be self-motivated. Okay, great. Yes, you don't need somebody to motivate you. See, I don't need anybody to tell me to work my ass off daily, to finish my to-do list, to have a great attitude. I don't need anybody to do that. What if that person doesn't show up? Does that make sense? By the way, if you guys have questions, feel free to put them in the chat, okay? I don't mind answering questions in the chat, okay? So, because somebody raised their hand, feel free to put your question in the chat. So that is the 10 percenters. And then the 3 percenters are the motivators. These are the people that get other people into action. These are the people that get other people into action. You see, here's the deal. 27 percenters clicked on the link for today's training. 0. They're not even open to personal growth. None. A bunch of people, over 100 people, clicked on the link, 60 percenters. A bunch of people, the majority, 60 percenters, clicked on the link that they will be here. Okay? A few 60 percenters came on. There was a group of 10 percenters and a group of 3 percenters that clicked on the link, and those people were here. They didn't need no motivation. These are the people that are more used to keeping promises to themselves. See, write this down. You ever heard the phrase, talk is cheap? That's not true. Talk isn't cheap. People cheapen their talk. 60 percenters, and especially 27 percenters, are those people who especially cheapen their talk. It's just a habit. They're at unconscious competence of being cheap talkers. They're at unconscious competence of not coming through on their word. That makes sense? But 3 percenters talk is not cheap. You want to be the guy or girl where people say, so-and-so said they're going to do this, consider it done. It's a wrap. She says she's going to make $1 million by 2022. Oh, that's done. Write her check already. Post dated for 2022. It's done. It's a wrap. No problem. But the majority of the people are, that dude said his goal is to do this many sales. Cut that down to this many. Right? So the goal is to go from the 60%, because there's no 27 percenters here. This is a place where you avoid 27 percenters. You don't want to run into 27 percenters, come to an event like this. They're not here. We don't want them here. God bless them, whatever they do. We don't want them here, okay? 60 percenters, if you find yourself as a 60 percenter, you want to go up to a 10%. If you're a 10%, you want to go up to a 3%. If you want to attract to your sales organization or your company 10 percenters, you can't be a 60 percenter. Lions give birth to lions. Eagles give birth to eagles. A lion is not going to give birth to a hyena. An eagle is not going to give birth to a duck. Let's get into the 3 percenters. 3%ers are bigger than their challenges or their problems. 3%ers know, hey, listen, I'm bigger than my problems. 3%ers make personal development a habit, and they invest money into their personal development and time. Check this out. How many people, by a show of hands, would like to have more money and more time? Raise your hand. Here's what the world wants. The majority, the overwhelming majority of the world wants three things. They want more money, they want more time, and they want more sex. Right? It's true. Nothing wrong with it. We're all adults. It's natural, right? Check this out about the time and money, though. Time and money, in order to have more time and money, you've got to invest time and money. Isn't that interesting how that works? But it multiplies it. In the Bible, it talks about the parable. Whether you believe in the Bible or not, guys, I'm not here to preach to you. I'm here to teach you. It's got some great lessons, right? In the Bible, it talks about the parable of the talents. One guy lost his talents, the other guy hid his talents, and the other guy multiplied his talents. And God took away from the guy that hid his talents, just put him away, saved them, took them away from him, gave those talents to the guy that multiplied. Why? Because this world responds to deserve, not want or desire only. You got to take action. So 3%ers invest time and money into themselves. See, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. We get paid based on the size of the problems that we solve and the value we bring to the marketplace. We're going to get into that. 3%ers are not afraid of what others think of them. This is the big one. 3%ers are not afraid of what others think about them. The average person cares too much about other people's opinions. Okay? They're also not affected by their environment. Rather, they impact their environment. I'm not impacted by my environment. I impact my environment. Give an example. 2 weeks ago, we were at our friend's house. Okay, I won't mention their name. Dear friends of my wife and I. It was a birthday party for the mother and the daughter. Everybody's having a good time. I'm doing the 75 hard, right? So I can't have any cheat meals. I got to drink a gallon of water a day and work out twice a day. I put the video. It's still on my stories. You know those stories that you can save? It's still under my number 2 75 hard story on Instagram. And I tell my wife, it's already 10. I want to get going. It was a Friday, I believe. I said, it's already 10. I want to get going because it's, it's late. And I got to get my second workout in. And she's feeling a little bit like, oh, that sucks. It's my friend's birthday, I said, listen, if you could give me some weights to work out here, I'll do it. There was Krispy Kreme donuts. There was cake. There was all kinds of stuff. As you can imagine, it was a birthday party. Here's the deal. My weakness is donuts. I love donuts. If I could eat donuts all the time, I would. If I could eat them for breakfast and lunch, I would. And that's no exaggeration. That's why they say dinner. That would be an exaggeration. I love donuts. I said, can't do it. So then they get creative. The husband, he does have weights. He brings out the weights. And I'm working out right there. They're walking around drinking beer. I'm not drinking, I'm drinking water. And I'm working shoulders. And I put the video on my Instagram. We were in the middle of a party. And I got my 45-minute workout in. Because my talk isn't cheap. Because I said I'm going to do the 75 hard, and I'm going to do it, and that's it. Right? So the point is, I'm not affected by my environment. I impact my environment. There are some people that will walk into a room with negative energy. You ever meet some people like that? They'll walk into a room with negative energy. You're either Eeyore or Tigger. For those of you guys that are familiar with Winnie the Pooh, you're either Eeyore or you're Tigger. Okay? Either Eeyore or Tigger. Some people walk into a room and plants die. They got such negative energy. Some people walk into a room and they're contagious. It's a winner. Man, this guy's a champion. And I get encouraged being around this person. Does that make sense? So some guys walk in a room, they're negative like Eeyore. Where's my tail? Have you seen my tail? You know where my tail is? Where's my tail? Fucking life sucks. Did you see the traffic? Traffic sucks. The weather's fucking gloomy day. The world is going to an end. I haven't received my stimulus check. Get the hell out of here with that crap. Right? The weather's the same for you as it is for me. Traffic, you should have got your ass up earlier. Traffic is the same for you as it is for me, right? We all live in the same world. We don't live in a different damn world. There's some other people make the most of it. Hey, man, I'm in a traffic jam. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get on this training. I'm going to get on Audible and I'm going to listen to some personal development instead of listening to the radio. Instead of listening to music. Those guys you listen to music, those people you watch on TV, they're already rich. What you watching them for? Are you rich? Okay? See, when you're rich and you go on Netflix and chill. Until then, until you don't have your family where you want to have your family, what are you Netflix and chilling for so much? Get to work. Do some personal development. That's how the 3%ers think. They are committed instead of being interested. Committed means you do it regardless. Interested means you do it when it's convenient. Question is, are you interested or are you committed in your goals? That's the question. 10%ers, they grow with challenges and problems, just like 3%ers do. They are not negatively impacted by their environment. 10%ers may affect their environment, but not as much as 3%ers. But they're certainly not impacted negatively by their environment. They don't let their environment, but most people don't even think of that. Most people were at the unconscious incompetence level there. They didn't realize, hey, I should be conscious of whether or not my environment is impacting me or not. I should be conscious of that. By the way, if you guys like this information, share the video. I'm going to give you guys some value here, okay? A lion is not concerned with the opinions of sheep. A lion is not concerned with the opinions of sheep. And we're going to get into that a little bit more. 60%ers, roller coaster ride of emotions. 60%ers have a roller coaster ride of emotion. One moment, they're happy and excited. The next moment, they're not. One moment, they're motivated. The next moment, they're not very motivated. Okay? This is just normal for 60%ers. They get started with their new career. They get started with their new business. They're going to conquer the world. And then what happens? A little bit later, somebody tells them, hey, man, that's not going to work. Hey, you got into the life insurance business. You got into the network marketing industry. You got into real estate. You only get paid if you do commissions. Isn't that a pyramid thing? It's going to take you a long time to get paid. You should just get a regular job. Okay? Then they were motivated. Then they talk to a negative dream stealer. All of a sudden, they go from Tigger to Eeyore. Oh, you took my tail, right? They lose motivation fast. They are affected by their environment. 60%ers are affected by their environment. This is how you can see as you start to grow from a 60%er to a 10%er when you stop being affected by your environment, when your motivation stays up. It doesn't mean that you don't lose motivation from time to time. It doesn't mean that you don't have negative thoughts in your mind. Write this down. Winners have negative thoughts from time to time as well. Winners have doubt from time to time as well. The difference is that winners do not let it linger so long. You got to think about what you're thinking about. Winners think about what they're thinking about. Start thinking about what you're thinking about. Be conscious of your thoughts, because your thoughts are pregnant with your future. Your thoughts are pregnant with your actions. Be conscious of what you're thinking about. Don't do stinking thinking, is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's go. 27%ers. We won't spend a lot of time on them. They don't aspire to do great things. They don't have a sense of urgency. They don't invest in themselves, right? They're some of the most toxic and negative people that you'll ever run into. They are big time affected by their environment. And from time to time, they will affect their environment in a negative way. I spend zero time with these people. I wish them well. God bless you. Agree to disagree. God bless you. Zero time. I do not take their opinions. I do not waste time with them. Time with them is not invested, it's wasted. Some people, time is invested. Other people, time is wasted. And as I mentioned earlier, they're like crabs in a bucket. Oscar writes, Netflix, what's that? That's right, I like it. I know you're a winner and a champion too, brother. Okay, so you are definitely not a 27%er. The goal is to go from 60 to 10 and from 10 to 3, okay? In building your dream business or team, you want to spend zero time with the 27%ers. Don't hire them, don't associate with them. and you're going to see why, okay? You are the average of the 5 people you spend the majority of your time with. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the majority of your time with. I want you to write that down. If you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the majority of your time with, should you be hanging out with positive, upbeat winners? Absolutely. So who have you been hanging out with? 2 questions. Who have you been hanging out with, and who have you been listening to? Who have you been hanging out with, and who have you been listening to? That's the question. See, most people, again, we have listened to people that are not positive, don't have a life that we want, and all these other things, right? Okay? Be conscious of that. That's probably why a lot of people are not where they want to be, because who have they been listening to? Okay? $14,000, we talked about that. Kindergarten to the 12th grade is 14,000 hours. You're programmed for mediocrity. You're programmed to be a fault finder. Think about this. You go to, remember school, let's say you took a test. Let's say you got one answer wrong. The teacher will go through right answer, right. Wrong. They circle it in red. You got 9 answers right, but they found the fault. They circled it in red. Now, they were just doing their job. I'm not criticizing teachers. I'm simply telling you, most people are programmed to be fault finders, okay? Here's what we're told during those 14,000 hours. Kids are to be seen, not what? Heard, right? Don't talk to what? Fill in the blank. Don't talk to what? I see your mouth. I know if you're saying it. Don't talk to strangers, right? Okay, good. Study hard and get good so you can get a good high-paying what? Job. So what are they programming people to do? Kids are to be seen, not heard. What if in your business, you let people see you, but they don't hear you? You don't talk to them about your business. You don't prospect. Would you make any money? No. Don't talk to strangers. So what, you're only going to sell and do business with people that you know? Or do you want to also reach a larger amount of people? Of course. And study hard so you get a good high-paying job. I believe a job is great while you're building something else. But I don't believe that the key to financial freedom is only a job. Now, if you got a good high-paying job and you're making the right investments, kudos to you, great. But I don't think that most people, when they think of a job, they only think of a job that pays as much as they can to pay the bills, just to get by, okay? So here's the 3 types of people. There's people that make things happen, people that watch things happen, and then there's people that wonder what the hell just happened, right? Which one do you want to be? 3%ers and 10%ers make things happen. 60%ers watch things happen. They want to make things happen, but they only watch things happen. And a lot of 60%ers and 27%ers, time goes on, then they realize, damn, what the hell just happened, right? Here's the deal. The way that by the age of 30, I made $1 million in 1 year by the age of 30 is this. When they were partying, I was working, okay? When they were soaking up the sun, I was soaking up ideas. When they were slacking off, I was focused. When they were making love, well, I was too. I was doing that, right? That is one thing I was doing, right? Okay? So, but the thing is, I knew something's got to give in order to gain. I got to go out there and make it happen. I had a lot. It's funny, like a year or a year and a half ago, we had a barbecue here. My brother Lewis came down. One of his buddies came down. And we're playing pool in my pool table. We had a barbecue in the backyard. And he had a couple beers. And he says to me, JC, damn, bro. And he and I are not really friends. Like, we're acquaintances. Like, we don't hang out. I'm not saying this in a negative way. He's a really nice guy. But, you know, he's not somebody that would call me a friend or me, him a friend. We're acquaintances. And he said, hey, bro, I just want to tell you, man, this might sound weird, bro, but I'm very proud of you, man. And he almost looked like he got a little emotional. And I said, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. But why do you say that? He says, bro, you've always been different. You've always been different, he says. He says, I remember one time on a Saturday morning, I got to your house to go with your brother to play basketball at the park. He says, this is like 15 years ago. He says, and I remember you were leaving the house. Keep in mind, 15 years ago, I was like 22. You were leaving the house in a suit on a summer day on a Saturday and I asked you, hey, give me a second, guys. He says, and I asked you, hey, you don't want to go play basketball with us? And you said to me, I'll never forget, JC. He said, you said to me, man, I don't got time for that shit. I'm building a business. And I started laughing. So is that what I said to you? He said, yeah, man, you were kind of an asshole. But now I understand. Now that we're older, I understand. You were driven from way back then. And that was a very proud moment for me, man. Because there's a fine line between, for those of you that are younger, right? There's a fine line between enjoying your youth and messing up your future. It's not that you can't have fun. You can have fun. Everything in moderation. But you have to understand that if you want to achieve big things, the price has to be paid up front and in full. There's no layaway. There's no credit. You've got to pay the price up front and in full. Okay? So, value to the marketplace trumps experience. The value we bring to the marketplace trumps experience. Time on the job does not equal more valuable. There's people that say, man, I got 20 years of experience doing this. But in reality, they got 1 year of experience repeated 20 times. Right? They're not growing. They're not investing in themselves. I got a friend, sharp guy. He doesn't do social media. I'm not going to mention what he does, but he's in sales. He's been stuck for a lot of years at right around the same income, about 80 grand a year. Okay? But the dude doesn't invest in himself. He doesn't move to social media. He doesn't want to learn social media. He's got the same suits. He looks sharp, but his suits are 10 years old. They're a little bit too baggy. They're too wide from the feet. And I said, bro, you got to invest in yourself. Stop being such a cheapskate, bro. You got to invest in yourself. You got to get some new suits, bro. Because listen, man, the bottom line is that we live in a world where we're judged by the way we look. And even though you look sharp, but you look sharp from 2010. 2010 sharp is in 2020 sharp, my man. He doesn't get it, right? So the point is we have to constantly be evolving. We have to bring value to the marketplace, right? Time on the job does not equal valuable. We get paid based on the value that we bring to the marketplace. So for example, skills are valuable. What type of skills? You've heard me mention these earlier. People skills, sales skills, communication skills, problem solving skills, leadership skills. See, I would much rather somebody that is people smart and book dumb. But there's a lot of people out there that are book smart and people stupid. I don't care about hiring somebody that is book smart. I got this degree and stuff, but you don't know how to talk to people. I got straight A's in school, but you got terrible personality, no people skills, no communication skills, no problem solving skills. That doesn't cut it, man. What you got taught in school, that stuff doesn't work in real life, at least in high school. The basic math and reading is what works. Think about it. I mean, when I think about it, I think about all these things that try to teach me history. When the hell do I apply that history stuff or that complicated math? I know how to divide. I know how to add and subtract. I know percentages, right? That's about what I needed personally in mathematics, right? So the skills are what's valuable. So here's the deal. Success does not respond to want or need. It responds to deserve. So how do we deserve? We deserve by the value, that's the key word, value that we bring to the marketplace. Okay? So here's how it goes. Here's the hack that we've been talking about. Okay? If you're going to record a part, record this part. By the way, if you guys like this information, tag me on social media. If you guys are getting value, tag me on social media. So here's a hack. People want a certain lifestyle. That certain lifestyle, okay, is shown because of the results. But what creates the results? The actions, particularly skilled actions. What creates the actions? The attitude. But what creates the attitude? The philosophy. Every single body watching this video has philosophies that they live their life by, consciously or unconsciously. You got philosophies that you live by. Now I'm going to get into some winner philosophies and some loser philosophies or average philosophies, okay? So philosophies lead to attitude, attitudes lead to actions, actions lead to results, and results lead to lifestyle. Here's how it goes. Champions We develop the habit. Here's key, golden nugget. Here it comes. Champions develop the habit of pre-playing their future success and wins, while the masses replay their past failures, losses, and setbacks. Meaning the masses dwell on their losses. They replay in their mind the heartbreaks for business or with somebody, the losses, the setbacks. They replay them. Champions pre-play their future success and wins. Remember what I told you, lie, cheat, and steal? You want to lay awake at night thinking of the burning desires of your heart. Here's the deal. God did not put, I don't believe that God put those desires in our heart to tease us. I believe that God put those desires in our heart as proof and evidence that you can achieve this if you want to. If other people have achieved it, you can achieve it. It isn't a tease. Haha, I put these desires in your heart, but I'm not going to let you develop the skills and discipline to get them or work ethic to get them. No, he put those desires in our heart because he knows that we can achieve them if we want to go get them. The problem is that most people are out there waiting in line for permission to win. Here's the deal. Success does not require you to wait in line. While everybody's waiting in line, you step up and take it. I always tell the story. I was at LAX many years ago, like 2014 or something. I'm in the big old line for security, right? One of the employees walks across, opens up a new line. Everybody on this line looks at each other. They look back, they look front to see who's going to go to that new entrance. And I stood there for about 2-3 seconds, puzzled. Why the hell won't these people go? And I proceed to go. As soon as I go, they look at me. I go. I cross right through security. Crossed about 30 people. What do you think they did now? They followed. My belief is that most people were afraid of what somebody may think. What if I go over there and they don't let me in? Then I'm going to look stupid. You know what I thought? It looks pretty obvious to me. Worst case scenario, I'm going to get right back into where I was. But they opened that for a reason, and I went and did that. That's how most people live their life. Most people are waiting for permission, or they're waiting for other people to get it, to do it first. Most people are doing this. Aim some more, and they never take a shot. Dude, go take a shot. Go out there and fail fast. And we're going to get into that in the philosophies, okay? But champions pre-play their future success and wins. We are obsessed about that, okay? Start thinking about what you're thinking about when we're talking about that. First, we create our habits, and then our habits create us, okay? Here's some philosophies of successful people versus non-successful people philosophies. A successful philosophy and person understands my comfort zone is my broke zone. A successful philosophy understands success exists outside of the things that are comfortable to me. That's where success exists. Outside of the things that are comfortable to me. Okay? In order to succeed, I must double my rate of failure. If you want to succeed, fail more. See, the champion failed more times. The master failed more times than the disaster ever even tried. Do you guys get that? The master failed more times than the disaster ever even tried. So in order to succeed, I must double my rate of failure. You either win or you learn. I win some, I learn some. This is something I learned in martial arts when I was 11 or 12 years old. I told the karate teacher I lost. He said, you didn't lose, you learn. He says, you either win or you learn. Change my perspective on losing. He says, the average person thinks that losing is bad. Winners know that losing is a part of winning. You learn more when you lose than you do by winning. Okay? Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. That's another philosophy. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Are unsuccessful people willing to get up and beat the sun? Get up before the sun. Are unsuccessful people willing to get into the office earlier, leave later, make an extra 2 phone calls, go to an extra appointment, work an extra day out of the week. Instead of taking Saturday and Sunday off, take only Sunday off. Hey, here's what I know. God created this world in 6 days and he rested on the 7th day. Guess what? That's my example. I'm going to work 6 days. I'm going to take the 7th day off. Take the 7th day off for my family. That's what I do, right? I know that as I continue to get older, I need to change certain things to have a certain amount of energy. Guess what? I drink a gallon of water a day. I eat healthy. I work out every day. Right now, especially because I'm doing the 75 hard. But when I'm not doing the 75 hard, I work out about 5 times a week, 4 or 5 times a week. I know that there are certain changes that I got to do, and that's wisdom, right? I'm willing to do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. The dictionary is the only place where success comes before work. That's another philosophy. Think about it. The dictionary is the only place where success comes before work. If you open up a dictionary, you're looking, for those of you guys that don't get it, the word success will show up before the word work shows up. Only in the dictionary. But in the real world, you got to put in the work, and only then will the success come. Here's another successful person's philosophy. I get paid based on the size of the problems that I solve. I always give this example. If I work at the grocery store as a bag boy, my job, my problem to solve is to put the cans in the bottom of the bag and the bread on the top, or the eggs at the top, so they don't break, so they don't squish them, right? I solve the small problem. How much money does that pay? Minimum wage, small money, right? In business, we get paid based on the size of the problems that we solve. People go into business and they're surprised when they got problems that they got to solve. Guess what? That's a part of business. What you get into business for? If you're a real estate agent, you're going to get escrows that fall. You're going to get people, they're going to run their credit, so they're not going to qualify at the end because their credit score went down. Now you got to solve that problem. Now you got to call my brother. My brother and I, we own a credit repair company. Call us. We'll hook you up. Does that make sense? And my wife owns her ADT dealer. I own my solar dealer. My brother and I own our credit repair company, right? All businesses complement each other. That was also done by design, okay? So I get paid based on the size of the problems that I solve. If you want to fail, follow the master. We talked about that. These are all philosophies of successful people. Let me give you some unsuccessful people's philosophies. Tell me if any of these ring a bell. I'd rather be happy than rich. You ever heard that? I'd rather be happy than rich. I'd rather be happy than rich. Man, I'd rather be both. Who the hell said you got to pick one? Who said it's happy or rich? Here's one thing I know. I've been rich and I've been poor. And I like rich a whole lot more. Does that make sense? I know what it's like. When my brother was in the 9th grade, he had some Converse shoes. They had a big ass hole in the bottom, this big, the size of a silver dollar. He put a piece of cardboard on that shit when he was in the 9th grade. We've been broke, busted, and disgusted. We know what it's like to live in poverty, but not to let poverty live in us. But see, it's temporary. It's temporary. Being broke is temporary. Being poor is a state of mind. It's okay to be broke. We don't got, the problem is, here's the deal. If you didn't come from a rich family should come from you, as far as I'm concerned. Right? Because millionaires and broke people all have 24 hours in a day. And there's more millionaires that came from nothing than the millionaires that came from something. So here's a broke person's philosophy. I'd rather be happy than rich. Another one is, thank God it's Friday. You know what you're telling the subconscious mind? We keep talking about the subconscious mind. What you're telling the subconscious mind is that the rest of the week sucks. You know how you know when you champion up and warrior up? When you're looking forward to Monday. You'll find that all of this training connects when you watch it a second time. I recommend you watch this a second time. Watch it a second time. By the way, if you go to jcrangel.com, I got a Bulletproof Mindset interactive course. Anybody that wants it from here, you can get it for half price. Okay? So you can, but it's interactive and it gives you tests. Okay? The point is, as you start to watch this, you're not going to connect all the dots the first time. You're not going to connect all the dots the first time. You're going to connect the dots as you see it again, then you go out there and apply it. Then you see it again, then you go out there and apply it. Then you see it again and you go out there and apply it. Right? then the dots start getting connected. But thank God it's Friday. Remember we talked about the unconscious mind? The thank God it's Friday. Here's what that philosophy is saying. Thank God it's Friday. That means that the rest of the week sucks. You're telling your subconscious mind that the rest of the week sucks. You know how you know that you warrior up and champion up? When you are looking forward to Monday. Remember that we talked about having a burning desire, lie, cheat, and steal, lie awake at night, thinking of your goals, thinking of your dreams. Man, on Sundays, I'm like a caged lion. Let me at him. Let me at him. I wish people would wake up early so I could call them earlier. I wish I could go to my appointment earlier so I could go out there and dominate. There's people that are going to survive. There's people that are going to thrive. There's people that are going to dominate. I'm going to dominate. I am God's highest form of creation. You are God's highest form of creation. You got desires in your heart. God put them there, and He didn't put them there to tease you. Why aren't you going out there and taking it? Work harder than the next person. Work on yourself more than the next person. Invest more in yourself than the next person. Don't ask questions. Don't wait in line. Go out there and make it happen. I'm a caged lion. Man, I'm a freak of nature. They had to put a fucking fence around me because I'm the fucking man. I'm the woman. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. I'm a Christian man. I shouldn't be talking like that. I get excited, right? Thank God it's Fridays for broke people. Thank God it's Monday. You work so hard with the philosophy that thank God it's Monday. Eventually, you're going to have 6 Saturdays and 1 Sunday. Because you built such a big business, you made so much money that you got to the point where you can do whatever you want with whoever you want for as long as you want. But that is available to you and it's available to me. And it all depends on the daily action that we take daily. There's 2 things you can control. Your attitudes and your actions. This is also philosophy. Your attitudes and your actions. Those are the only things you can control. And I already showed you how to create the right attitude. It starts with your philosophies. Your philosophies are like filters. They filter away the negative things. The philosophies, remember we talked about them? My comfort zone is my broke zone. Shit, I can't be in my comfort zone. I got to get in action. Motion creates emotion. How many people have seen Boiler Room? If you haven't, go see it. It's not ethical what they do, but look at the work ethic. Look at the mindset. That's what I want you to get from it. Motion creates emotion. I stand up. This is my home office. I stand up in my home office. I'm walking around. Motion creates emotion. I'm excited. I got my whiteboard. I got my to-do list here. I got my notepads, and I got my to-do list, and I'm checking it off, checking it off, checking it off, checking it off, checking it off. Right? And I must double my rate of failure to be successful. Boom, let me go fail. Let me call a prospect, have them give me a no. Have them tell me to lose this number, to stop calling them. I don't care. I know that if I go through enough failures, I'm going to get the wins, right? So unsuccessful people philosophies. Thank God it's Monday. Money is the root of all evil. It's not money's the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. I do it more right now for providing for my family and for the win. And you know what I do personally? I tithe 10%. I got my pastor, boom. The last payment I sent to my pastor was $800. Boom, hey, here's $800, right? Like a week ago. I got some more money to send this week. 10% I tithe. And guess what? He's spreading the word of God, which is my faith, on social media through the congregation. So I know I don't love money in itself, right? I like money because guess what? I could provide for my family. I could take care of my family, right? I could eat the good food that I want to eat. I could put my son in a private Christian school that costs $800 a month, $900 a month, whatever it costs, right? There's nothing wrong with money in and of itself. I'm not in love with money. I don't make money my God. Definitely not. But you know what I love? I love the freedom. I love the peace of mind. That I do love, right? So unsuccessful people entertain themselves instead of educating themselves. We talked about that. They have a big screen TV instead of a big library. We talked about your favorite Lamborghini commercial. You don't have one because Lamborghini doesn't make commercials. Okay?
Hello?
By the way, mute yourself, please.
Yeah, I'm at work.
Here, let me see.
Why?
Oh, there you go. All right, somebody unmuted themselves by accident. No big deal. Okay, so I have to see in order to believe. Here's people's thoughts. I have to see in order to believe. Well, that's not how it works in this world. I know we said 90 minutes. We're going past 90 minutes. We got another 10 minutes. If you got to go, you got to go. Okay? Here's what I tell my prospects. Tell me yes, tell me no, but tell me fast because I got to go. So if you got to go, you got to go. But we still got some value here. I have to see in order to believe. No. Champions say I have to first believe Only then will I see. That's a hack. People say, oh, I got to see in order to believe. That is derived from a broke person's philosophy. A champion says, hey, man, I have to first believe, then I'm going to see. You have to be satisfied with what you have. Satisfied? No, you don't have to be satisfied with what you have. You should be grateful for what you have, even if it's not much. You should be grateful, but never satisfied. Why satisfied? If you got a roof over your head and you're able to eat at least once a day, that's something to be grateful for. Even if you hit rock bottom, but you're still alive, aren't you? If you live in America, you still live in a country that still has opportunity. I mean, things are looking crazy right now, but nevertheless, still opportunity here. So, not satisfied, grateful with what I have, but not satisfied. Dissatisfaction brought the telephone. Dissatisfaction brought the airplane. Dissatisfaction brought electric cars, brought solar. Dissatisfaction brought the internet. I shared a video the other day. Imagine somebody saying, when the phone was created, who was that? Edison? No, Alexander Graham Bell, right? He said, think about it. Put yourself in the mindset of back then. Man, I wish I could talk to somebody that's not even here. People thought he was on drugs. People said, man, I don't know if it's drugs you're on or drugs you need to be on. But there's something wrong with you. How are you going to talk to somebody that's not here? That didn't exist back then. We have vision. See, winners have vision. Most other people only have sight. Sight is seeing what's in front of you. Vision is seeing the unseen done. That's what vision is. You got to have a vision for the things that you want to achieve before they get done. You got to see them in your mind first. Okay? So, you got to be satisfied. You don't have to be satisfied. You can be grateful, but you don't have to be satisfied with where you're at. And then the victim mentality. Let's get into the victim mentality. We're going to go through this fast. Okay? So, here's what the victim mentality is. Okay? Winners versus victims. A victim will blame everybody else. They'll complain and they'll justify. That's what a victim does. They point the fingers. When I point the finger, I got 3 fingers pointed right back at me. If I'm pointing the finger, I got 3 fingers pointing at me. Victims blame others. They complain about everything. Whatever you focus on grows. So they complain about everything and they put emotion to it, which makes it even worse. And then they justify. They say things, for example, like, it's because the economy stinks. Or, you know what? Money is the root of all evil anyways. They justify why they don't champion up. Here's what a champion does. A champion, simple. They take 100% responsibility for everything, every time, and that's it. That's what a champion does. They don't blame other people. Here's what a champion knows. The problem is in the mirror. If I got a problem with my finances, if I got a problem with my health, if I got a problem with my fitness, I know where the problem is. Go to the nearest mirror. There's your problem. Let me tell you where the solution is. Be in the mirror, turn around, total 360, and look at yourself again. That's the solution. A champion warriors up. A champion says, I'm the problem, but I'm the solution. Let's make it happen. Bet. You know what you got to do? You got to bet on yourself. You can't rely on everybody else. Nobody's going to come and save us. You got to bet on yourself. I'll bet on myself like a motherfucker. Hell yeah. I'll bet on myself. I'm going to win. It's a wrap. I intend history to be kind to me because I intend to write it. Winston Churchill. Okay? Victim mentality versus a victor mentality. A victim mentality desires comforting lies. Okay? A victor mentality desires unpleasant truths. A victim mentality desires, I can't succeed because the world is against me, is what they say. The winner's mentality is, I will succeed even though everyone is against me. Victim looks outward. Winner looks inward. A victim finds excuses. A winner finds reasons. A victim says, it's because I have no job and 2 kids. That's why I can't. A winner says, because I have no job and 2 kids, I must find a way. Okay? A victim makes you feel attacked. Okay? The other one makes you feel pushed. A victim, outside influence is stronger. The winner, the inside influence is stronger. The victim doesn't take responsibility. The winner takes 100% responsibility. Okay? We got 2 more slides and we're done. So, remember we talked about success does not respond to need, it responds to deserve. Okay? We're about to wrap up. Winners understand that we have to be. Okay? Be what? We have to be the winner that deserves the things that you desire first. You have to be that person. If you become that person now, you will do the things that person does. Check this out. If it was possible to have the things that you wanted, being the person that you are right now, you would have already had it. If it was possible to have the things that you wanted right now, you would have already had it. So we talked about be, we talked about do. Do what kind of things? For example, personal growth, prospect more, wake up early or work till later, invest in yourself and your business more, change the people that you hang out with, okay? So only then will you have the things. So here's how it goes. It goes be, do, and have. Be, do, have. Most people, they want it backwards. They want to have the things, then they'll do the stuff and they'll be the person. Most people say things, hey, you know, if I was making your kind of money, bro, if I had your position, bro, I would dress like you. I would drive the kind of car you drive. I would be as driven as you. I would work hard like you. I would have a great attitude like you. That's how most people are. When you have the personal development and the bulletproof mindset, when you have the mindset of driven, not given, I'm going to make it happen. I don't need you to give it to me. I'm going to give it to myself. You have the mindset of be, do, have. I must be the person right now that deserves the things that I want. If I become that person now, that person will do the necessary things, will pay the necessary price, and that will equal the having of the things that I want. So a champion looks at cost versus value, okay? More time and money. Why do most people not have enough of it? Because they don't invest in time nor money. So a successful person's thinking is, what is the value of this investment in your time, or the investment of money into whatever personal development you're putting into, right? Unsuccessful person's thinking is, what is the price of the item? Successful people look at value. The other people look at cost. Okay? So successful people attributes. They invest in themselves. They look and seek for mentors. They see what the masses are doing and they do the opposite. They ask, how can I afford it? Instead of just saying, I can't afford it. Instead of saying, I can't afford that, ask yourself, how can I afford it? I have people that will tell me, man, JC, I can't afford your training. I can't afford your training, JC. I said, no, you can't afford not to get the training. I can't afford that new suit. No. You can't afford not to get the new suit. I can't afford to go to that convention. No. You can't afford not to go to the convention. You got it wrong. You can't afford not to invest in yourself. Okay? Unsuccessful people attributes. They spend money on seeking comfort in friends. Okay? They follow the masses. They say, I can't afford it. As I mentioned, you can't afford not to. Okay? All right. And this is the final slide. Okay? The final slide, and we're going to finish with this. What are some attributes of successful people? Again, if you guys are liking this information, tag me on social media, okay? JC Rangel Mindset on Instagram and Mr. JC Rangel on Facebook. What are some attributes of successful people? So think of some of the attributes of some successful people that you know, okay? Are they motivated? Are they ambitious? Are they hardworking, humble, driven? Are they good speakers? Do they have good communication skills? Willpower, passion, integrity, optimism, and confidence. Check this out. This here that I'm going to tell you next blew my mind when I heard it. Okay? How many of these are skills and how many of these are attitudes? Being motivated is an attitude. Being ambitious is an attitude. You could choose to go after it. You could choose to want more. Being humble, I believe that's an attitude. It could be a skill too. Hardworking, that's an attitude. You can decide to go out there and hit the pavement. Driven, integrity, optimistic, confident. These are, optimistic is an attitude, confidence is an attitude and a skill, willpower is an attitude, passion is an attitude. There's only on this list of all of the things, attributes of successful people, about 2 or 3 of them are actual skills. The rest of them are attitudes. What does that mean? That means that attitudes are more important than skills. If you have the right attitude, you'll develop the skills. And if you understand the philosophy training, philosophy, attitude, actions, results, lifestyle, you'll understand how to develop that attitude. But see, you may be motivated now, but don't be a 60% that's motivated now and you lose your motivation tomorrow or next week. That's why personal development is something that you must do. Okay, guys? This is actually the last slide. Okay? So here's the next lesson. We talked about the only thing you can control is your attitude and your actions. This here is called the slide edge. Think about this. For those of you guys on Facebook, there's a line going here that raises up. There's a line on the bottom that's going here that ends up raising down. Think about this. Guy A or girl A is on top. Guy B or girl B is in the bottom. Okay? So here's what happens. You take guy A in the top. He's saying, hey man, I'm going to read 10 pages of a good book a day. I'm going to work on myself daily. Guy B says, how about a Netflix and chill? Can you see a difference between the 2 people after 1 day of doing that? No, you can't see a difference. It's only 1 day. So guy A read 10 pages or listened to 30 minutes of good audio. Guy B said, I'm going to skip that. I'm going to watch Netflix. Guy A, next day, says, hey man, I'm going to have a chicken salad. I got to take care of my health, my cholesterol, and all that stuff. Guy B says, I'll just have a cheeseburger, bro. It's all good. I'll start my diet tomorrow. Guy A says, hey, I'm going to prospect every single day for 2-3 hours. Every day. I'm going to knock on this many doors, make this many calls, whatever the case is. Guy B says, I'll do it tomorrow. The slide edge eventually, see, guy A is doing the daily disciplines. Guy B is doing the daily errors in judgment. Because make no mistake about it, it's an error in judgment, right? But who's more comfortable in the beginning? Guy B is more comfortable. Guy B is eating cheeseburgers. He's not going to the gym. He's not prospecting. He's not working on himself. Isn't it more comfortable if you go to work at 8? Isn't it more comfortable to wake up at 6:30, 6, whatever, get ready and go to work versus waking up at 5? Of course, to work out, right? It's more comfortable. Isn't it more comfortable to watch Netflix and chill instead of personal development? Yes. Isn't it more comfortable to not invest money into your personal development versus investing money into your personal development? Of course. It's more comfortable. That's why I said, if you go to my website, jcrangel.com, I got the bulletproof mindset. Anybody that wants it, I'll give it to you half price. Invest in yourself. So check this out. Guy A is uncomfortable. Guy B is comfortable. But as time goes on, as you see on the slide, guy A starts to build a business. Because here's the deal. First, we develop our habits, and then our habits develop us. First, we develop our habits, and then our habits develop us. And if you think about it, it's easy to do. It's not hard to do these disciplines. Reading 10 pages of a good book a day isn't that hard, man. You can work out at home. You only need 30 minutes to 45 minutes to work out. It isn't that hard. You can work out and do your personal development at the same time. Do you know that? You can work out and do the personal development at the same time. You can have your Audible app. Be focused, and you can be doing jumping jacks, burpees, push-ups, running in place, shadow boxing, jump rope at home. You can watch YouTube videos. See, it's easy to do. You can watch YouTube videos and work out at home. You can be listening to Audible. You can knock those 2 birds with 1 stone. So meaning it's easy to do. The problem is that it's easier not to do. And this is some old Jim Rome stuff. But it was true then when I heard it 15, 20 years ago, and it's true right now. So what's easy to do is actually easier not to do. But see, people What we do is we develop our habits, but eventually our habits develop us. So guy A is doing the disciplines, taking action, doing the disciplines, and is uncomfortable. Guy B is comfortable. Guy A is uncomfortable. But as time goes on, a year down the line, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, guy A is in shape, is in good health, has financial freedom, has a thriving business, lives in a better neighborhood, drives a better car, has better retirement plan, life insurance, all that other stuff. Guy B, 5 years, 10 years down the line, is out of shape, high blood pressure, in some cases diabetes, right? Not financially stable, a lot of stress, a lot of uncertainty. Who's comfortable now is a question. Think about it. This is a slight edge. Most people dig their grave with their teeth because of how they eat, right? This here, it starts with your philosophies, which create your attitudes, actions, results, and your lifestyle, right? Make sure it's a slippery slope. You're either improving or declining. You're increasing or declining. There's no in between. So when you understand the slight edge, guys, this, by the way, there's a book by Jeff Olson called The Slight Edge. I recommend anybody read that book. It's an incredible book called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Incredible book. Okay, guys? This is exactly what it talks about. Over here, there's blame and neglect and entitlement under guy B. The other one is responsibility, discipline, and value-driven. So the question is, where do you find yourself? You're on that slight edge. And this is all a philosophy, man. This is all a philosophy. Okay? All right, guys. I'm going to unmute everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed the training. Let me see here. Unmute all. You guys are unmuted. Okay? Some of you guys are not. You just got to unmute yourself. Yeah. Listen, guys, if you guys enjoyed this training, and I appreciate any feedback. Okay, I'm gonna share a post on social media. Go out there and comment it if you guys got some value. How many of you guys got value from the training? Cool.
Fire, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, Darius.
Great job.
Always
JC.
on point. Always on point, JC.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Hi, babe.
Thank you, babe. Thank you. My wife is out there. She better be supportive. She better tell me she liked the training, right?
Jennifer, don't tell us no. Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, listen, I wish you guys an incredible day. I hope you guys go out there and crush it. Let's go out there and make it happen. The only thing I ask, guys, is this. Listen, okay? I'm in the solar industry, right? You guys know of anybody interested in solar? If you guys know anybody that has questions about solar, is interested in solar, send them my way. I'm going to keep doing trainings like these on different subjects. I'm going to just keep giving value. Follow me on social media. Tag me on your post, right? Keep me in mind for any support. And that's my advertisement. Anybody that you refer me to that goes solar, we pay them $1,000 for that referral. That's the only thing that I did this to give value and to be
It's because I said it like.
Right? So have a good day. Keep in mind,
Have a meeting.
I'm going to do another training that'll probably be a sales training. So different subjects, right? Some of it will bleed into what we talked about today, but it'll be a sales training. So if you guys like that, follow me on social media. We're going to make it happen. And with that said, have a good one. This training is recorded, so I'm going to have it on social media as well. So if you guys want to recap it, let me know. And for those of you guys, a couple of you guys text me and message me here that want my training, hit me up, and I'll hook you up with that Bulletproof Mindset training for half price, as I mentioned. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
How'd you